practice is, no, we're not. Okay, good morning. So today's practice is going to be one of self-care. We find ourselves as maybe you're a caretaker. We're all caretakers in some way, shape, or form, whether we are taking care of loved ones, or we're tending to our gardens, or we are, in the United Church of Christ, we talk about tending to the three great loves. So we are caretakers of our neighbors, we are caretakers of the children, we are caretakers of creation. And so in order to be caretakers, we first have to tend to ourselves. So today we're going to take some time to tend to ourselves through a form of self-massage and body awareness. And this will just be a gentle, most everything will be seated. There may be an opportunity to stand at one point during the practice, but you can also remain seated if that's more comfortable for you. So let's just begin today with a little bit of breath and body awareness. So I invite you to either close your eyes or soften your gaze, and you can just place your hands on your thighs. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. This is a calm, relaxing, and restorative breath that you can take with you throughout your day, throughout your week, anytime you're feeling stressed or tense, or you just need to recenter. Remember that you can always come back to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Quieting the chatter of the mind. If there's anything that's distracting you from being fully present in this moment, then I invite you to imagine a door. Place those thoughts on the other side of the door and close it behind you so that it's just you in this moment with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. I invite you to begin visualizing your surroundings, imagining the walls around you, ceiling above you, and feel the ground under your feet. Feel the chair under your seat. If you want, you can take this time to actually look around you, looking behind you, both sides, looking up if you need to. Just kind of noticing what's around you, feeling comfortable and safe in this space that we've created. And begin to slowly just kind of scan your body. Noticing without judgment what it is that you feel today, starting with your feet and working your way up your legs, your hips, your belly, your back. your shoulders, your arms, your fingers, your neck, your jaw, your eyes, your head. Just noticing what it is that you feel. How is your body speaking to you today? What words of comfort can you use to speak to your body? What messages of love can you send to yourself? And if they're not already, I invite you to open your eyes. And we're going to make some eye circles, because I know a lot of us are spending a lot of time on the computers now, a lot more than we usually do. And so this is a practice that will help to strengthen the muscles in the eyes and reduce eye strain. So I invite you to look straight ahead, and then inhale, look straight up just with your eyes, keeping your head at neutral. And as you exhale, rotate your eyes slowly to the right, coming all the way back down. And inhaling, continuing the circle around until you meet it back up at the top. And then exhale, go counterclockwise until you reach down to the bottom. And inhale slowly around back up to the top. Go ahead and look ahead of you. And then visualizing a clock in front of you. We're going to look diagonal. So look diagonally up to your right, just with your eyes, kind of at about a 2 or a 3 position, a 2 position in the clock. And exhale, look diagonally to the left, maybe over to a 7 or an 8. And look back up to center. We're going to look diagonally to the left, up corner, upper corner, maybe up to the 10 or the 11. And exhale down to the lower right, maybe to the 4 or 5. And then back to center. If you have glasses, you might want to take them off for just a minute. Go ahead and bring your palms together, rub your hands together until they're nice and warm. And cup them over your eyes. Breathing deeply, feeling the warmth of your hands. As your eyes relax, go ahead and stroke your eyelids gently with your fingertips. And then release them down. If you need to put your glasses back on, you can go ahead and do that. This is just a little reminder, if you're joining us on Zoom today, if you're able, try to mute yourself so that we don't hear any background noise. I'm going to lead us in a few hand gestures that we can also do as a way of grounding us. So these are things that you can practice at any point in your day if you're feeling like you need some grounding. And there will be some hand gestures throughout the entire practice. So the first one is just placing one hand to your heart, and your other hand is just resting on your thigh. And I invite you to breathe here. as we tend to our bodies and as we center with our breath, we're reminded that the Spirit of God flows through us. That God breathed into us the breath of life. Feel the Spirit of God moving through you with each inhalation and each exhalation. The next hand gesture is to just place your other hand on top of that one, so that you have two hands to your heart. So notice how that feels. Breathing in and out. And the third hand gesture is to take that hand that is underneath, that is up against your chest, and make it into a fist, and then wrap the other hand around it. Just pressing very gently. So go ahead and release the arms down. Notice how you feel. Notice any changes in your body. Listen to what your body's telling you. Go ahead and roll your shoulders back and forward. And maybe drop your head down. Just kind of roll your neck from side to side as we slowly begin to loosen up the neck and shoulders. This is a place where we tend to hold a lot of tension. And come back to center. And then you can do this next one in two different ways. We're just going to kind of stretch out the heart space, opening up that space. You can either leave your hands to your thighs and just kind of lift your chest up and open, lifting your chin slightly. Or if you want it a little bit more, if you have something to grab onto the back of your chair, you can kind of hold on to the back of your chair and lift in that way. So feel the expansion of the heart space. Breathe into that space. Notice how it feels. Go ahead and release. And then I invite you to take one of those hand gestures that we did before. One hand, two hands, or fist covered with the other hand. Whichever one spoke to you most. Whichever one felt more grounding to you. And just take a moment to place your hand there in whatever way honors your practice today. Whatever way honors your body. Feeling the Spirit of God moving through you with your breath. Feeling the grounding in your hands. And go ahead and release. So here I invite you, you can either stay seated or you can stand up in this particular part of the practice. So I'm going to stand. We're going to work on a massage of the belly here. So a lot of times when we feel stress, It often occurs either in our neck and shoulders, or we feel it in our gut. There are other places that we can feel it in our bodies, but those tend to be central locations that we do that. And we might have digestive problems or something like that as a result. So first, I want you to just kind of visualize where your abdominal area is. You have to find your lower left hip bone, and that's kind of where it starts. Find your right hip bone, and right above it is where the lower part starts. And then find your lower ribs. So we kind of make a little box here. And then let's separate it into quadrants. So kind of imagine separating it into 4 squares. So you have the lower left, the lower right, the upper right, and the upper left. And anytime you do a massage of your belly, you want to go in a clockwise motion. That is best for digestion. So we're going to start in the lower left, and just take your flat palms or your fingers and just kind of rub in that lower left quadrant. Slowly moving toward the right. And if you ever feel any pain or discomfort with any of these, please don't continue or lessen the amount of pressure that you're putting on there. If you know that you have any sort of health problems in that area, you may want to use extra caution. We're moving up to the upper right side now. And easing over to the upper left side. And I invite you to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Listening to the message of your belly. Speaking loving thoughts to that part of your body. Feeling the healing presence of the Spirit of God moving through that space as your breath moves from belly to chest and chest to belly. And then I invite you to place both hands on your belly. Notice how that feels. We're going to just kind of stretch out our belly just a little bit. So go ahead and raise your arms up and just kind of lean back a little bit in your seat, or if you're standing, then you can lean back that way. Go ahead and lean to the left a little bit, maybe a little left and back. And then to center and lean right, maybe a little right and back and center. Lean back one more time, just stretching out the belly. And then bring the hands back down. Bring your right knee in. So we're squeezing into the belly. And then place that back down on the ground. Squeeze your left leg in. And then place it gently back down. Pause for a moment, and you can choose one hand to belly, one hand to heart, or both hands to belly, whichever one felt more grounding to you. And release your hands back down. We're going to move to the face. So take one hand and just place it on the side of your face, lovingly holding on to one side of your face. Notice how that feels. Then take the other hand and place it on your face. Notice how that feels. Listening to the message from our face. What is it that our face needs from us? What words of kindness and kind thoughts can we give to our face? And move one hand to your forehead and the opposite hand to the base of your skull. What message do you receive from your head? What words of kindness can you give to your head? Go ahead and release your hands. We're going to place our fingers facing toward each other on our forehead and stroke them out towards your temples. So starting in the middle of your forehead, stroke your fingertips kind of out towards your temples. Connecting this with the breath, continuing the inhale and exhale. And then taking your fingers, just kind of your first two fingers, and we're going to stroke up from the bridge of the nose up toward the hairline in the middle of the forehead. Move over to your temples, gently massaging your temples. And then again, you might need to move your glasses if you wear glasses. So moving from the bridge of the nose, you can either use the backs of your thumbs or you can use your fingertips, whichever is most comfortable for you. So starting at the bridge of the nose, we're going to move down the sides of the nose, underneath the cheekbones, and move up toward the temples. Repeating that movement. This massages the sinus cavities. Helps to release any drainage that might be in there. And then we move down to the jaw. So just taking your fingers taking your fingers, just kind of rotate in circles around your jaw. You might notice at different times of your day, you may be clenching your jaw. Just bring awareness to that. If you notice that happening, relax your tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. If you need a little extra support with that, if that doesn't seem to be enough, I'm gonna go ahead and release the hands for a second. Just gonna demonstrate what you can do. So you can also, if just dropping your tongue away from the roof of your mouth isn't enough, you can also just open your mouth really wide and stick out your tongue. Sometimes just bringing that extra tension into your jaw, and then relax it, and then see if you can drop your tongue down away from your mouth to relax your jaw a little bit more. So we're going to take the knuckles of our index fingers and our thumbs and kind of use them to hold onto our chin. And we're going to draw it around each side to the jaws. So starting at the chin and moving in an outward motion up the jaws. Feel your jaw start to relax. If you're taking your glasses off, you can go ahead and put them back on now. So I invite you to notice your ears, to bring awareness to your ears. So we're just going to start with our earlobes and working our way up our ears, up the outside of our ears. It's kind of like a gentle pinching or just like a gentle little massage on your ears. This practice in particular is really good for the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps to promote rest and healing in our bodies and our minds and our spirits. It helps to reduce that fight, flight, or freeze response that we have. Go ahead and rest your hands down again. And then bring your hands to your neck. And we're just going to stroke our neck with our hands, with our fingers and our palms, getting the sides of the neck kind of behind the ears a little bit, getting the front of the neck. This promotes the lymph draining, bringing that down toward our heart. It's excellent for our immune system. And then as we've done a lot with our face and neck, I invite you into a forward fold. And here you can do this seated or you can do this standing. And just fold as much as is comfortable. The idea is to get your head below your heart for just a little bit. So inhale and exhale, go ahead and fold forward. If you're sitting, you might want to open your knees a little wider. Or you can leave your knees together and feel a little massage in your belly again. And inhale, slowly come up. And roll your shoulders back and forward again. Great. We're going to start working a little bit on the arms and the shoulders. So let's bring our right hand to our right shoulder. And just begin to massage that a little bit, feeling the shoulder joint. Working our way down the arm a little bit. Moving down to the forearm, just kind of a squeezing motion or a little pressure. Sometimes feel good to the muscles. Working your way up and down. Go ahead and take the right arm across, or sorry, the left arm across to the right side of the body, holding your left shoulder with your right hand. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, release. Releasing the arm. Let's move to the left hand to the right shoulder and just begin massaging that shoulder. Noticing any places you may have tension, any tight muscles you have in there, working your way down to the shoulder joints, the forearm, the upper arm and forearm. Gently squeezing. Don't forget the back of the arm too, the underside of the arm. And draw that right arm across toward the left, holding your right shoulder with your left hand. Breath in and out. And then again, if you have something to hold on to, the back of your chair, you hold on with your right hand to the back of your chair and twist your body to the left so that you're stretching out, so that you're stretching that arm back a bit. You can also do this against a wall. If you have kind of a corner, you can place your arm on one side of it and kind of walk over to the other side of the wall. And go ahead and come back. We're going to do the same thing with the left side. So holding on to the left side of your chair, walk your legs over to the right. Feeling the breath moving up and down. And go ahead and release. All right. Bring your right hand to your left shoulder. I'm going to drop your right ear over to your right ear to your right shoulder. And massage the side of that neck and down into the shoulder. And if it feels good to do that, you might take a fist and just kind of gently pound it a little bit. If not, you can just keep using your hands and your fingers, working on those muscles. And then stroke the left arm with your fingertips. Sending loving messages to your arm and your shoulders. and listening to the messages that it has to give to you. Bring your right hand or your left hand to your right shoulder and your left ear to your left shoulder area. And do the same thing on that side. So working from your neck down your shoulder, massaging. Maybe a little bit of a squeeze, or maybe just kind of gently pressing with your fingertips. Or if you want, you can take that fist, gently pound a little bit. And then stroking that right arm. Listening to the messages of your right arm as you send loving messages to it. And bring kind of fold your arms together so that your hands are holding on to both upper arms like you're giving yourself a hug. Just kind of squeeze up and down the upper arms, the shoulders, down toward the elbows. And work your way all the way down the arms. You bring your hands out, press out through the heel of your palms. Inhale, exhale, curl your fingers, bend your wrists forward. Inhale, open the hands, pressing out through the heel of your palms. Exhale, curl your fingers, bend your wrists. Inhale, open. Do some little windshield wipers. And let's interlace our fingers. Press out with our palms and lift up, relaxing the shoulders. And exhale, slowly bring our arms down. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears. Inhale and release with a big sigh. We're going to move to our legs and feet briefly. So just with your hands, move to your right thigh and just kind of massage the muscles of the right thigh. Just kind of squeezing it a little bit. As you move down, find your knee. It may be helpful to cross your leg for your knee, or it may be more helpful to just leave it with your foot down, so whichever works for you. Just gently rotate your hands around your knee. So you have like your hands in kind of a little circle, thumb to thumb, middle finger to middle finger, and just wrap that around the knee and make little circles around there. Move down to your shin and your calf. And then go ahead and rest it down. Let's move to the left leg. So just gently squeezing your left thigh with your hands. And then again, finding that thumb to thumb, index finger to index finger circle, encircling the knee and rotating it around in circles. Or if it feels better to do so, you can just kind of take your fingertips around in a circle around your kneecap. Moving down your leg to your calf, squeezing the calf muscle. Thanking your legs for all that they do for you. And listening to the messages that they may have to give us as well. And go ahead and rest your legs back down. Take a deep breath. And release. Just notice what you're feeling. Take a moment to listen to your body. And go ahead and take your right foot in your hand. We're going to rotate it around in circles in both directions. And then with your hands, go ahead and flex your foot, bringing the toes back, feeling the stretch in the arch of the foot. And then bring your foot the other direction. So bring your toes in towards you, stretching the outer part of the foot. Then starting from the heel, with your thumbs or with your knuckles, just kind of work your way up your foot, massaging up the foot. And then taking your thumbs, just kind of spread your foot out. Do kind of a spreading motion with your foot. Get under the toes. Stretching it out from side to side in your foot. And then taking the knuckles of your fist, move up and down the foot. And then gently squeeze. Just squeeze all the way around the foot. Listen to your right foot. And send loving messages for all that it does for you. And release it down to the ground. Go ahead and bring your left foot up. We're going to do the same thing on that side. So you take your thumbs or the knuckles of your fist, and we're going to just kind of start from the heel and work your way up. So in Eastern medicine and reflexology, it is said that there are different points on the foot that are connected to different parts of our body. So even by doing a simple foot massage, you may find that you feel better throughout your whole body, that you'll find relaxation just by massaging your feet, and that there can be health benefits just from a simple foot massage. All right. And go ahead and use your fist, working up and down. And then spread it out with your thumbs. Getting under the toes. And squeeze your whole foot. Send loving messages to your left foot. What message do you have for it today? And then pause and listen. What does your left foot have to say to you today? I don't think we rotated that ankle. I was just realizing. So if you haven't already rotated your left ankle, go ahead and rotate it. That's what mine was telling me today, was you forgot. And then go ahead and flex the foot, pulling the toes back. Stretching that arch out. And then bringing the toes in toward the body, stretching out the outer part of the foot and ankle. And then go ahead and rest your feet down. Take a deep breath in and out. We're going to move through those hand gestures together before we close. So you can remember these as we depart today. Anytime you need to feel grounded, you can come back to these simple gestures. So the first one is one hand to heart. And then two hands to heart. Wrapping our hand around the fist. Pause and breathe. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Two hands to belly. One hand to face. Two hands to face. One hand to forehead. One hand to the back of the head at the base of the skull. Stroking one arm with your hands. Stroking the other arm. Holding both arms in a hug. And resting your arms, your hands down to your thighs. Scanning your body again, beginning with your feet. Moving up your legs, to your torso and your back, your hips, your chest, your shoulders and your arms, your hands and your fingers. Your neck, your face, your head. Sending loving messages to your body. Receiving messages from your body. Feeling the Spirit of God moving through the body with each breath in and each breath out. Bring our hands to heart center again, or find whatever hand gesture was most meaningful to you today. As we give thanks for the breath, as we give thanks for each part of our body, not one more important than the other. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surrounds us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Amen. Thank you for